1. The feeling of not belonging. From a young age, you looked around and felt as though you were in a world that wasn't entirely yours. It wasn't sadness or ordinary loneliness, but a strange feeling of being out of place. While other children seemed perfectly comfortable with games, routines, and even conversations, you often wondered if there was something beyond all of it. It was as if something inside you whispered that your soul had come from somewhere else, with a unique and special purpose. That, chosen one, was the first sign that you were different. This feeling often revealed itself in small ways. Perhaps you had interests no one around you shared, or a way of thinking others didn't understand. While your friends focused on the present moment, you often found yourself daydreaming, imagining grander scenarios and possibilities beyond what seemed tangible. That sense of disconnection wasn't a mistake. It was a divine reminder that you weren't meant to conform, you were meant to transform. The feeling of not belonging may have brought difficult moments. The misunderstanding of others, the strange looks, or even rejection may have made you question why you were so different. But even in your loneliest tears, there was a silent comfort, a force that seemed to protect you. It was as if God was saying, "You are not from here, but you were sent here for a greater purpose." That discomfort was a compass, pointing you toward the journey you were meant to take. Over time, you began to realize that this feeling of not belonging wasn't a weakness but a gift. You saw the world through different eyes, understood things others overlooked, and deep down, you knew there was something special in store for you. And do you know why, chosen one? Because souls marked for great missions never fit into ordinary molds. They don't belong because they were created to lead, to illuminate, and to change everything around them. 2. Deep empathy and connection with others. From an early age, you could feel the emotions of others as if they were your own. You didn't need anyone to explain what was happening. A look, a word, or even silence was enough for you to sense when something was wrong. Your sensitivity was so profound that, even without fully understanding it, you felt called to help, to comfort, to be a source of peace. This wasn't just kindness, chosen one, but a reflection of your divine connection to the people and the world around you. Perhaps you were the one your friends turned to when they needed to talk, or the one who could make your family smile during difficult times. Without even trying, you had the gift of bringing comfort and safety, as if your very presence said, "You are not alone." This deep empathy wasn't a weakness but one of the greatest marks of being chosen. Your heart seemed bigger, capable of holding and carrying pains that many didn't even notice. However, carrying this gift wasn't always easy. There were moments when you felt overwhelmed by the emotions of others, as if you were drowning in seas that weren't even yours. But do you know why you endured? Because God knew your soul was strong enough to bear and transform that energy. Every time you helped someone, even without realizing it, you were fulfilling your mission and spreading the light He placed within you. Over time, you began to see that this connection wasn't common. While many shielded themselves and closed off, you remained open, vulnerable, and yet powerful. Your empathy was a divine gift, chosen one, because it made you a channel for love, healing, and hope. In a world so full of pain, your sensitivity is not just a unique trait, it's a spiritual weapon. And this ability to feel, to connect, and to transform is proof that you were called for something greater. 3. Unexplainable divine protection. How many times have you been on the brink of something that could have gone terribly wrong, yet somehow, you came out unscathed? From a young age, chosen one, it seemed as though an invisible hand was guiding your steps, steering you away from dangers others might not even notice. Perhaps it was an accident avoided by seconds or a decision you made without knowing why, but that ended up saving you from a complicated situation. That wasn't luck. It was the divine protection that has always been over you. This protection wasn't limited to physical situations. You were also shielded from people and circumstances that could have destroyed your essence. That friendship that ended suddenly, the job that didn't work out, or even the no you received when you desperately wanted a yes. At the time, it might have hurt, but now you see it was God closing doors that didn't lead to your purpose. You didn't need to understand, only to trust. And that trust was all he asked of you. What's even more remarkable is that sometimes you don't even notice the extent of this protection. It's the things that happen behind the scenes of your life, in the small details you only piece together later. People look at you and wonder how you manage to overcome so much, how you seem to emerge unscathed from situations that would knock anyone else down. But deep down, you know you're not alone. That something that has always protected you is not mere coincidence but the divine grace that chose you from the beginning. This unexplainable protection is more than a shield, it's a constant reminder that your life holds immeasurable value to God. He guards you because he knows you have a greater mission, something the world needs and that only you can bring. So even on days when fear or doubt try to creep in, remember, you are surrounded, chosen one, by a force that never fails. You are protected not just for what you do, but for who you are, a reflection of divine love and purpose. 4. The sense of knowing things without explanation. From an early age, you knew things no one had taught you. It wasn't something learned or explained, it was as if the truth simply emerged from within you. While others were still trying to make sense of what was happening around them, you already felt the answer. This sense of knowing, chosen one, wasn't a coincidence. It was the Spirit whispering to your heart, showing you that your connection to the divine was alive and vibrant. Perhaps you warned someone about something that seemed inevitable, only for them to later return and say you were right. Or maybe you made a decision based on an intuition that didn't make sense at the time but ended up saving you from a bigger problem. These coincidences were clear signs that God had gifted you with a wisdom that transcends the ordinary. You didn't need all the pieces of the puzzle to understand the bigger picture, your soul already had access to the truth. This gift, however, hasn't always been easy to carry. People around you may have doubted you, ridiculed your insights, or even made you question your own sanity. Yet, despite this, you couldn't ignore that inner voice. And do you know why? Because it was true. This knowing wasn't something you could explain. It was something you felt in the deepest part of your being. It was as if God had planted a seed of wisdom within you, and it blossomed when it was most needed. Over time, you realized this sense of knowing was a tool for your mission. While the world stumbles in the darkness of doubt, you carry the light of clarity. This wisdom is not just a gift, it's a responsibility. You are called to see beyond the visible, to hear what isn't said, and to act with confidence even when no one else understands. And this certainty, chosen one, is proof that you walk side by side with the divine. Your life is guided by something greater, and you are never lost. 5. Early challenges to shape your strength. From a young age, it seemed your life was marked by challenges greater than those faced by other children. While others had simple concerns, you carried a weight that felt disproportionate for your age. Perhaps it was a broken family, financial struggles, or even an environment where you never felt fully accepted. These challenges, chosen one, were not signs that something was wrong, but rather divine tools to shape the strength needed for your mission. You may have often wondered why life was so hard for you, why it seemed like no one saw your struggles, and why support was so rare. The answer is simple yet powerful. God knew you had a unique resilience, something he needed to refine early on. Every trial was spiritual training, a process of polishing you so you could endure and overcome everything the future would bring your way. These early battles did more than just test you, they prepared you. With every difficulty overcome, your faith grew stronger, your vision became clearer, and your soul became more steadfast. Where others might have given up, you kept going. Where others might have gotten lost, you found a greater purpose. And that's the hallmark of the chosen ones. They turn pain into lessons, falls into steps, and scars into symbols of victory. Today, when you look back, you can see how these challenges not only shaped you but also equipped you to understand and help others. Your strength isn't just for you, it's for those who will come to you seeking inspiration, guidance, and light. You are living proof that God never places a burden greater than we can bear. And, chosen one, every struggle was a reminder that you were born to overcome, to lead, and to fulfill a divine mission that few can understand, but that many will be transformed by. 6. Rejection or misunderstanding from others. From an early age, you realized you weren't like the others. While the children around you seemed to fit easily into groups and understood each other effortlessly, you were often the target of rejection or misunderstanding. No matter how much you tried to be accepted, it seemed your light unsettled others. But, chosen one, this rejection wasn't a sign that something was wrong with you. It was a reflection of the greater purpose God placed in your life, one that not everyone could understand. The truth is, your unique essence revealed what many around you tried to hide. Your presence brought others' insecurities to the surface. This wasn't your fault, it was the brilliance of your soul, something so pure and true that it unsettled those who weren't ready to face their own shadows. You weren't rejected because you were weak, but because your strength made others feel small. This misunderstanding may have made you question your worth. The harsh words, the looks of disdain, and even the isolation felt like painful blows. But even in those moments, God was working within you. Each rejection was preparation, a reminder that your acceptance was not to come from the world, but from above. He was teaching you that, despite the opinions of others, your value is immeasurable, and that this truth could only be found in His presence. Over time, you began to see that this rejection was, in fact, a blessing in disguise. It steered you away from paths that weren't yours and from people who weren't meant to walk alongside you. Today, you understand that not everyone is capable of seeing the greatness of a chosen one. And that's okay, because your mission is not to be understood by everyone but to remain faithful to the calling God placed in your heart. You were set apart, chosen, not to blend in but to shine in places where few dare to go. Chosen ones, your belief in your divine intuition has brought you here. If you feel you are chosen and that your energy needs protection, join this channel. Comment 444 and subscribe to the channel to receive more videos. Now, let's enter the silence.